Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Hi, I'm John Mallos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Today we'll be talking to the owner of Harris Ranch and talking about the Triple Crown in California Chrome. We'll also be focusing on his ranch, Harris Ranch, that is. You can call in at 436 MeTV, option 11. Do turn down the sound. Back with our program in a moment. Well, we have a special guest in the studio today here live on Connect with Me. You're watching us on Comcast Channel 187 and 43.6 this morning on this Thursday morning. It is a beautiful day to be outside and maybe even taking in a horse race. We're going to be talking, of course, about California Chrome and the Triple Crown in just a moment. But I have to focus last night at Chavez Ravine Dodger Stadium. Let's take you to the videotape right now. It was Clayton Kershaw on the mound for the Dodgers, throwing a no-hitter. That's the last pitch. He only had 6 pitches in the 9th inning, 107 overall. It is the 22nd no-hitter in Dodger history. You know, I'm not a Dodger fan. If you've watched this show for the last 2 or 3 years, you know I love the San Francisco Giants and the Oakland A's. But as a baseball fan, you have to admire what Kershaw did last night. Amazing. The 12th no-hitter in Los Angeles as an organization. They had 10 in Brooklyn, but more importantly, Clayton Kershaw is now 7-2 on the year, and the Dodgers, those Dodgers in blue, are only 4 games behind the Giants in the National League West. Congratulations to Clayton Kershaw. An impressive victory and no-hitter last night at Dodger Stadium. Now to our main topic of the day here on Connect with Me, and that is California Chrome. We are talking about the Triple Crown. And just a couple of weeks ago, everybody around the country was abuzz about what was going on, the possibility of having a Triple Crown for the first time in decades. Of course, it did not happen. We were all focused on the Belmont Stakes, the 3rd leg of the Triple Crown. Let's go to the videotape, show you exactly what happened down there. This was the stretch run at the Belmont. California Chrome making a run at history, trying to become the first horse to win the Triple Crown since affirmed in 1978. But it was a rough start. Out of the gate, California Chrome was stepped on his right front hoof. It was bloodied. Then getting stuck against the rail and trying to work his way to the outside. Down the stretch, he was 4 lengths back, never made it to the finish. He was hurt. He was tired. Were the other horses more rested than California Chrome? All of the above? These are all questions. I don't know. I know they sound like statements, but who knows? A disappointing 4th place finish for California Chrome in the Belmont Stakes. Today, though, as we speak, California Chrome is back on California soil. Live in our studio right now is John Harris, the owner of Harris Ranch, where California Chrome was raised. He was bred there. He is here to take your phone calls to talk about the Triple Crown. Hey, to talk about his ranch, Harris Ranch. Don't forget about that. And we'll talk about some of the horses he raises out there. We'll take a look at some of the stables. We have some video. 436 MeTV, option 11. Glad to have you along on this Thursday morning here on Connect with Me on Comcast Channel 187, 43.6. Back in just a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Whirlpool appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Touch Watch the new Whirlpool Ice Collection. It offers a modern style made to create an inspiring kitchen experience. Save big on this Whirlpool Black Ice or White Ice kitchen. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Still shaking my head about that no-hitter last night, and also still shaking my head by what I saw a couple of weeks back at the Belmont Stakes. I was literally screaming at my television set during the Belmont Stakes for that horse, California Chrome, to make a run down the stretch, but couldn't do it. John Harris is here, the owner of Harris Ranch. Mr. Harris, how are you, sir?
Doing well. Everything's going well. We were disappointed in California Chrome's not winning the Triple Crown, but he didn't have to prove anything else. He'd won 6 in a row going into that and ran a big race. It's just a combination of things, as you pointed out, that might have compromised.
Yeah, just raised a bunch of questions. Was he tired? Was he hurt? The other horses may be more rested because they didn't obviously race in the other 2 races, the Derby and the Preakness. So maybe all of these factors in the end made a difference. I don't know.
Well, like anything, there's always a bunch of factors. I mean, it's to say that success has many fathers, but failure's an orphan. But he only got beat a couple lengths. He did step on.
I think it was 4 lengths.
He got
right?
stepped on coming out of the gate, where it'd be like running a race with a hangnail, and he's going a mile and a half on a fairly deep track. And
what happened there at the coming out of the gate? What happened?
Well, the horse next to him, I think he was a 2-post position, and the 1-post position broke outwardly somewhat, and just the other horse's front foot caught his front foot, and just didn't tear it to a point where it's bleeding, but it was obviously opened up a little bit, so that didn't help. It's hard to say. His horses have a lot of adrenaline in a race. They might not be as compromised that much, but definitely only get beaten 2 lengths going a mile and a half. It didn't help.
You know, when you figure all those things in there, maybe it just wasn't meant to be.
Well,
you know what I mean?
So we really needed a Triple Crown winner because we hadn't been a Triple Crown winner for so long, and this horse was a Cowbred that has never been a Cowbred Triple Crown winner, and he was really America's horse, and people all over the country were rooting for the horse.
Well, I got to tell you, let me go over a couple of stats here because, Affirmed won the last Triple Crown in 1978. This was an 11-horse field. Only 3 horses had run in all 3 races at the Belmont Stakes. NBC had the 2nd highest rated horse race ever with a 12.9 and a 29 share. Tunnelist obviously won the race, the 146th Belmont. And when you look at, the jockey, his name slips my mind.
Victor
Espinoza. He did a terrific job in all 3 races to just keep him in the race in the Belmont.
No, Victor's a great jock. I've known him for years. He was born in Mexico City and he's been up here riding for over 20 years. Ridden a lot of big horses, and this is probably the apex of his career right now. So it's great to see him do it. Actually, he was over in England this year. This week, he won a race at Ascot, which is the top hat and tails kind of a deal.
Now tell me about California Chrome, because he is back on California soil. Where is he now?
California Chrome's back at our farm. He's taking a little bit of a vacation, which is always a good idea for people and horses.
Yeah.
And he just got there yesterday, and he's just going to be hand walked for a week or so, and we'll turn him out a few hours every day, give him a little grass, and he's just like any of us, and just take a little bit of a break. But he'll be back in 5 or 6 weeks, and he's pointing for the Breeders' Cup, which is in the 1st of November
in LA, right?
At Santa Anita. It's a big day of racing. It's an international deal, and he fairly close on making that race coming off of a layoff, but he'd probably be able to do it.
Now, is he in Coalinga?
He's in Coalinga.
Coalinga, okay, under heavy guard, I would assume.
Yeah, we've got pretty good security.
Pretty good security there to make sure. So, look, I'm not going to sit here and try to blow smoke in your ear. I'm not a racing or a horse racing expert, okay? I was a sportscaster at one time, but I don't follow horse racing like a lot of people do, and like a lot of, maybe some of your folks at your ranch do and like you do. What does it take to breed a horse like California Chrome? Is it planned out, or does it just happen by accident that this thing happened?
Well, it's definitely a long shot. The chances of this horse coming along and being this major of a horse were, clearly several 100,000 to 1 when you look at the numbers.
Really?
And he did, and his owners were always confident. This is the first horse they'd bred, and they were telling us early on, oh, yeah, this horse is going to win the Derby, but we'd be like somebody saying a little kid is going to be an All-American football player, and they're just trying to humor him along, but this guy really did it.
So this was a $10,000 breeding investment, that's all?
Well, not even that much, probably. It was
really.
It was the horse that he was bred to was standing for $2,500. Lucky Pulpit, who still stands at her farm, now his fee's gone up, and it's out of a mare that they had paid $8,000 for, but they might have overpaid for the mare at $8,000. Now she's worth substantially more, but they didn't have that much invested. Although the bloodlines were good when you look at the depth of them, but it wasn't a horse that somebody would go out and pay $1 million for as a baby.
So the way this works, just so I understand it, because like I said, I'm no expert, when California Chrome, when he goes to stud, there's no guarantee that his offspring is going to be the same horse that he was in all 3 races, right?
No, that's right. There's nothing's guaranteed in life or horse breeding or anything.
It's like raising a child.
Yeah,
is he going to be the next Babe Ruth? We don't know.
It helps. I mean, a good horse, he's a good-looking horse. He performed well, and his bloodlines were basically good. It's just that you had to go back a generation or two for the best of them. But he'll be popular as a stallion. But I think the thing that's really good for racing, he's going to keep racing. They plan to race him late this year in the Breeders' Cup, and then race him as a 4-year-old next year, which 4-year-olds with a lot of horses mature more, be running against best horses in the world, but there's a lot of interesting places to run him now.
Tell me about California Chrome. Tell us something that we don't know, because from what I saw and have seen on television, this is a horse that likes to race.
Yeah, he likes to. Yeah, he's really a guy that has a presence and a personality, and just seems like a natural. He's just like a walk-on celebrity type of a guy.
Is that right?
And he. Funny thing is what funny about him was has been typical for his whole career. I guess when he comes off the van, you have to back him off the van. He won't just walk off the van forwardly like it would be normal.
Yes,
but he'll back off fine. So they found that out, and just that's just why he does. But he's a real flashy horse. That's the reason they call him California Chrome. He's got the chrome is like all the white.
Yeah.
He's got 4 white feet and a white blaze, so he's very recognizable.
Well, we're still proud of what he did, winning 2 out of 3 of the Triple Crown. Of course, the Derby, the Preakness, and then falling a little bit short in the Belmont Stakes. Hey, that's okay. We're still proud. He's going to run in the Breeders' Cup probably, no doubt about it. We'll come back and talk more with John Harris, the owner of Harris Ranch. We'll ask him about his ranch these days and the stables over there and how things are going, and also about 77-year-old trainer Art Sherman. He's over in Coalinga, too, I assume. We're back. 436 MeTV, option 11. Back in just a moment.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Talking here with John Harris, the owner of Harris Ranch. He is a first-time guest here on Connect with me, and talking about Victor Espinosa being on Letterman. I did see that segment when he was on the David Letterman program. He was actually pretty funny. Got a good sense of humor, huh?
He really does. When I first met Victor, he didn't really speak English, and he's a quick study, and he really came across well, because I was thinking he'd be okay, but he was really great.
Hey, I think we have a call coming in right now. Do we not? Got a phone call coming in? No phone call yet. Okay. So, I do want to talk to you about Steve Coburn. He's the co-owner of California Chrome, along with Perry Martin. Yeah. See, I did my homework last night.
That's good. You're doing
See, you
good,
like that? Hey, I'm doing good so far, right? All right, Steve Coburn, I want to run this soundbite. Here's what he had to say right after the Belmont Stakes took place, and then you can comment after.
Incredible run for Steve Coburn and Perry Martin and all those with California Chrome. Throughout it all, Steve, it's been an amazing ride. What were your thoughts as they turned for home?
Well, I thought he was gaining ground, but
he didn't have it in him, apparently. You know what? He's been in 3. This is his 3rd very big race. These other horses, they always set them out. They set them out and try to upset the apple cart. I'll never see, I'm 61 years old now, never see, in my lifetime, I'll never see another Triple Crown winner because of the way they do this. It's not fair to these horses that have been in the game since day one. I look at it this way. If you can't make enough points to get in the Kentucky Derby, you can't run in the other 2 races.
So if you had your way, you would say you got to run the Triple Crown or you cannot come up in the Belmont and be a fresh horse.
That's right. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. Because this is not fair to these horses that have been running their guts out for these people and for the people that believe in them. For have somebody to come up like this is a coward's way out, in my opinion. This is a coward's way out.
So you think they came right after your horse and that was the plan, just like they have other potential Triple Crowns?
Exactly. Our horse had a target on his back. Everybody else lays out one. Well, they won't run in the Kentucky Derby or the Preakness. They'll wait until the Belmont. You know what? If you've got a horse, run him in all 3. If you've got a horse if you've got a horse that earns points to run in the Kentucky Derby, those 20 horses that start in Kentucky are the only 20 eligible to run in all 3 races. This is the coward's way out.
Steve, I know it's a tough loss. We hope to see him down the road. All right, Tom. Obviously, strong statements here from the owner of California Chrome, Tom.
Yeah, some bitterness. Well, that was Steve Coburn. We all saw that after the race, of course, lambasting the horse racing industry. He came back and apologized. We'll show that too. So just a quick comment about what Steve Coburn had to say after the Belmont Stakes.
Well, Steve's a good guy. We've been doing it the last few years, ever since this horse came along, and he did, literally hundreds of interviews, and it was a really good spokesman for racing. I think he was so disappointed. A horse had won 6 in a row, and he gets beat, and anytime you get beat, you're looking for reasons. And that what he pointed out was valid. He shouldn't have called the other people cowards. I don't think they were cowards. They just were opportunistic in not running in those other races and coming in this race. But he tries hard, and he does a lot of things for the public in general.
Yeah, I mean, here's a guy thrust into the national spotlight just like that, and it's emotional. He's upset after the race. It's kind of understandable, but he did come back and apologize. We've got a call coming in. Hey, caller, you're on the air with John Harris. Your question, please.
In all these years, I connected beefsteak with Harris Ranch, never horse flesh, but it's pretty neat that so much of the limelight has been shown on the Central Valley as a result of the successes of this.
Quickly, what's your question?
Yes, my question for your guest. Any regrets about not taking that, I believe it was a $10 million offer after the Belmont, after the Preakness? Do you feel any remorse not accepting, what was an offer for purchase of the horse? Thank you.
Go ahead.
Well, we don't own the horse, so it wasn't really our decision, although I would have probably been tempted to take it. But the Colburn and Martin are just really dedicated to the horse. I don't think it really mattered what the offer was. Yeah. They're pretty resolved that it's their horse. They want to raise the horse and do whatever they want to do with it. So I may well have taken an offer, but they
now, just to clarify. Right now, you do not own a stake in the horse.
We don't.
There might be a technicality there. Perhaps you might own 1 or 2%.
Well, not exactly. We stand the stallion. That means that the stallion lives at our farm. Lucky Pulpit, the father of the horse, is at Harris Farms. When you have a horse at your farm, you get some complimentary breedings to the horse. So we've got several seasons to Lucky Pulpit that are valuable.
He's the father.
Yeah, the father, and then they became more valuable as this horse, progressed. So we have a financial interest, but not really an equity interest at all.
It's kind of a gray area, right? Yeah. A little bit kind of a technicality.
Yeah, no, we don't want to get, but because the horse is strictly owned by Martin and Coburn, and they're elated.
But these guys, they're like partners of yours.
Everyone's in racing, everyone's somewhat of a partner, and we have like 40 employees at the farm that are all partners in the success of this horse. It might not really be a financial partner, but they're an emotional partner.
Right. You were at the Derby, right?
Yes.
And the Belmont Stakes.
I was at the Derby and I watched the Preakness at home, but the Derby I was really
Were you right in with Coburn in his gathering there at the Derby and at the Belmont?
Well, at the Derby, yeah, we were in the winner's circle together and went down there and all.
Okay.
The Belmont, we got separated, and I saw him before the Belmont, but wasn't right there when he did the interview.
All right, we've got to take another break, but as we go to break, I want to cue up the next soundbite, the apology by Steve Coburn on ABC's Good Morning America, just a couple of days there after the Belmont Stakes. You may have seen it, the interview on ABC. Here it is, and then we'll go to break.
You were talking with Dan yesterday morning here on Good Morning America, and he asked if you had any regrets to what you said, and you emphatically said no regrets. How do you feel this morning, Steve?
Very ashamed of myself. Very ashamed. I need to apologize to a lot of people, including my wife, Carolyn. First of all, I need to apologize to the winners. They ran a beautiful race. Their horse won the race. They deserve that. I did not mean to take anything away from them. So I want to apologize to everybody associated with Tunnelist, his trainer, Mr. Clement. I sincerely apologize. I want to apologize to all the horse racing in the world. I want to apologize to my wife, Carolyn, she has literally stood behind me since we started this journey. I want to apologize to my partner, Perry Martin, and his family.
Don't you ever hit me again!
I think we got a hit on our hands.
MeTV Fresno, now on Comcast Channel 187.
Talking with John Harris, the owner of Harris Ranch, of course, out there in Coalinga. And you do have, now, I've got a couple of pieces of video of your stables out there at Harris Ranch. I want to run one of those. And you can talk about the raising of horses at your ranch and talk about how many horses you have out there, how many stables. We're taking a look at one of the areas here. It's a video that we took off your website. Go ahead and talk about what we're looking at.
Well,
here.
This is one of the stallions coming out. I think that's unusual. Heat. It's a stallion. He's 24 years old, but he's been the leading sire in California for the last several years.
Okay.
Really a nice horse. So it's another horse there that sees Tizzy. He is the sire of Tiz Now that won the Breeders' Cup twice. So we've been very fortunate to have many leading sires there. So it was Lucky Pulpit was doing well, but he didn't have a real big horse. A big horse is like a superstar, like California Chrome. And then he came along this year, and it all came together.
Yeah. Got a call coming in here. Good morning, caller. You're on the air with John Harris. Your question.
Hi. There are congratulations on the win of California Chrome. That's a great thing. However, there is a very dark side to racing, both horses and greyhounds. At most of the fair circuits, they have trailers actually waiting at the end of the fair. Those animals are processed and rendered. We're talking more numbers than I can even imagine. In Fresno County, just dogs and cats a day, 150 a day killed. I would like to know if you guys have anything set up for the thoroughbreds, quarter horses, etc., that do not make the cut. The greyhound dogs have never even felt grass underneath their feet. I was wondering, Harris Ranch makes bucks. I used to work in Los Gatos Canyon, working cattle, to bring them down to your feedlot. I was wondering if anybody is paying attention to the animals that are not winners, that have a long, lingering, suffering death at the auctions. Are you? Have you got anything set up for, say, a retirement plan for these animals?
Got the gist of your question.
Definitely. Horses are there. All kinds of programs for horses. Right? What we try to do is place horses in good homes for other uses. Like we've had a lot of horses go on to be, top show horses or dressage horses or just riding horses and cattle horses or whatever they want to do with them, and we make sure that they're placed well. And but if a horse is injured severely, it is euthanized, and but that's pretty rare. I mean, that's more than 1 in 1,000 horses would ever be euthanized coming out of a race.
Another piece of videotape from Harris Ranch, and you can talk about that. Say, California Chrome in his waning days, which will be a long time from now, what will happen to him? What will his lifestyle be? Just give us an idea.
Well, good. We've got that gray horse we showed there, Sees Tizzy. He's been retired for about 5 or 6 years, and they are maintained well and taken care of. And I mean, it's everyone is very aware that horses are something you need to take good care of.
Now, this is a place where you bred horses, you raise them. Do you raise them as race horses or what?
Well, these are all raised as race. They're raised to be race horses, and that's what most of them end up. If they can't make it due to lack of ability or some injury,
or desire,
then
whatever.
They might be placed into some other use, but there's no horses are used for meat consumption in California. You can't sell a horse for slaughter.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Your question?
Hi, I just called, and I didn't mean to imply Mr. Harris. I know that they are responsible. I'm talking about people that, the racing circuits and so forth, where they're not so, if there are any rescue organizations devoted to those horses. I'm sure that all of the animals in his care, I'm sure that he is responsible. I can tell that by seeing his animals and himself. I meant for the horses that are not fortunate.
The horse racing industry in general, as a whole, I understand. Thank you for the call.
No, there is several horse aftercare and horse rescue operations are funded by the industry and by individuals as well. But I mean, most, like just at our farm, we probably have 15 or 20 retired horses are just hanging out.
You know what I like to do, because we only got a few minutes left. You agreed to be here for the half hour, and I appreciate that very much. But I'd like to get you to come back on the show and talk. Would you come back as a guest and talk about Harris Ranch and your business a little bit? Would that be possible?
That'd be good, because a big problem now is the water, that we just don't have the irrigation water to grow our crops and really take care of everything very well.
I was going to ask you about that, and how big of a problem is that for you right now?
Well, it's huge, not only for us, but the whole San Joaquin Valley is short of water. I mean, anybody that's dependent on surface water just flat probably doesn't have it this year.
Where are you getting your water from for Harris?
Most of our water, essentially all of our water now is coming from underground wells.
Okay.
But the underground is the aquifers, but that's being overdrafted. All over the valley it's being overdrafted. So there needs to be more surface storage, more dams, and better ways. One of the problems is getting the water through the delta, where much of the water from the western part of the San Joaquin Valley comes from, and that's been very hampered by many of the environmental rules.
How about building a temperance flat? How about building a new dam? Would that help?
I think it may help your grandchildren, but it definitely needs to.
It's not going to help me.
It'll take a while, but it definitely needs to be done. I mean, it needs that, and there's several different projects that need to be done, and Timber's Flat's probably at the top of them. But
I'd like to get you back here on a Tuesday sometime to talk on a business segment, and talk about your ranch, and talk about some of the water problems and some of the issues there. I appreciate you coming in very much. Mr. John Harris, thank you so much.
Thanks for being here, John.
No, we're not done yet. Hang on. We're going to continue here on Connect with Me Live, but as we go to break, hey, let's play the final 45 seconds of the race. The Belmont Stakes, as you saw it, California Chrome giving it all he has. We're back. We're going to continue after this short timeout.
You should have the Derby.
Yeah, I know.
And they're into the stretch. It's General A-Rod, Totalist. Here's California Chrome on the far outside, and he's a furlong from Immortality. He is up on the outside of Commissioner. Here's Wick
like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Frigidaire Gallery appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start, but you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an Energy Star qualified French door Frigidaire Gallery refrigerator. Quality appliances for the way you live. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise.
I love a joke.
Say, Lucy.
Yeah, Ricky?
A tramp came up to me in the street and he said he hadn't had a bite in weeks.
What'd you do, bite him? Opening butler joke, buddy, come on.
The master says to the butler, Jeeves, did you put fresh water in the goldfish bowl? And the butler says, why? They didn't drink up what I gave them last night.
You know that ancient joke about the guy who saves his regiment, shoots the cook?
No. How does it go?
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice.
Remember me?
But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start, but you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
And back here on Connect with me, here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this half hour from 10:30 to 11 now. And what a segment it was, of course, with John Harris and California Chrome finishing in 4th place in the Belmont Stakes, falling short of the Triple Crown. And that's okay. He won the Derby, he won the Preakness, amazing. And of course, last night we went over it. Of course, Clayton Kershaw with that no-hitter for the Dodgers. Even though I'm not a Dodger fan, you got to admire the guy. Struck out 15 batters. 14 of those batters went down on a Clayton Kershaw curveball. Can you believe that? They're now only 4 games behind my San Francisco Giants. We're going to switch gears here and talk about getting married. Do you want to get married? Are you on the verge of getting married? I'm looking off camera now to one of our people there, one of our floor directors. Are you getting married? No, she's not getting married. Okay, how about you out there in the audience? Hey, you don't have to be 25 years old to want to get married. You could be in your 50s or your 60s or your 80s. It's never too late, my friends, okay? If you plan to get married anytime soon, you might be thinking about China Peak. You heard correctly, China Peak. We want to take you to the videotape and explain further what I am talking about. There is an open house this coming Sunday. This event usually kicks off the summer season for weddings. In fact, this marks the 3rd year that China Peak will host numerous wedding events this year, and it seems to be the perfect venue if you are on the romantic side. As you can see by looking at some of these photos, the wedding business has been a smashing hit up there in the high country. Look at that, up on the lifts, huh? A romantic spot, to say the least, to exchange vows, apparently. Maybe you can exchange them while you're up on those chairs there. Yes, China Peak is well known for being one of the best mid-sized ski resorts in all of California during the winter. But look at this, a summer photog right there. Come summertime, it turns into a place for mountain biking if you choose, and now weddings if you choose, no matter how old you are. That's a beautiful photo right there. China Peak opened up back in 1958, named after the mountain Chinese Peak, and is located about 65 miles east of our location right here in the grand old city of Fresno. Live in our studio right now is Tess Erdman. She is the wedding coordinator. That's right, the coordinator. She is here to tell us about China Peak weddings. She gets it all done. She's not used to being on this side of the camera. She's used to being behind the camera. But you know, I mean, she looks like $1 million. She looks like $10 million, so she should be on this side of the camera. She is here, what? Did I say something wrong?
No.
Oh, okay. She is here to take your phone calls. 436-MeTV, option 11. You're very photogenic is what I'm trying to say. So you ought to be proud to be on this side of the camera. 436-MeTV, option 11. Do turn down the sound. If you call in, we're back with our special program here on Connect With Me in just a moment.
When you're looking for Whirlpool innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Whirlpool appliances save you energy and money and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Hey, we're back here live. If you're planning to get married, China Peak might be the last place you think of, but now it could be at the top of the list. Tess Erdman, or is it Tess Danielle?
Either way.
Okay. So what's Danielle? Is that your maiden name?
It's my middle name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So what did you think of our first guest, John Harris?
Oh, it's an amazing story.
Yeah, California Chrome. Did you watch the Belmont State?
I didn't. I was actually working. I had a wedding.
A wedding to go to.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's that time of year.
So China Peak. This has only been going on, what, 3 years?
Well,
I said,
unofficially, they've probably had a few weddings here and there throughout the past, but
it hasn't been a special.
It hasn't been an actual wedding venue. Correct.
Yeah. Why not? It's been there since 1958.
It's been there since 1958. It was previously owned by Snow Summit Corporation from the Southern California area, and they didn't put a lot of effort into the summer season until it was most recently taken over by Tim Cohey, who was the CEO at Kirkwood in Tahoe, and he has started to put in a lot more efforts toward our summer.
And when did he purchase China Peak? In
2010.
Yeah. See, I got that right. Anyway, so you said you don't feel comfortable being on this side of the camera. Why?
I grew up in a photography family. My dad has owned and run a photography studio since I can remember. And so I kind of grew up on that side of the camera. So started shooting weddings when I was about 12.
But you're very photogenic, so you don't have anything to worry about here, at least. Anyway, so you can talk about China Peak. And let's roll a piece of video here or take some photos and show the folks at home what to expect. What are we looking at here, Tess?
That's our hotel and inn. We have a restaurant inside every Friday during the summer. We actually have live music for free on our patio. And there's a full bar. The restaurant's fantastic. We've had lots of great reviews with the food. We do all of our in-house catering there for all of the events.
One of the rooms inside?
That's one of the rooms inside. Everything has been upgraded in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So everything's nice and fresh and updated in each of the rooms.
What are you looking at here?
That's also our wedding patio. Overlooking in the background is the actual ski resort. Those are the lifts and the ski runs back there.
So can you actually get married on one of those lifts?
You can. You can.
You can take your exchange vows.
All of your guests, your friends, your family, everybody, they take a chairlift ride to the top of the mountain. It's from the bottom to the top, it's about 1,700 feet difference in elevation. So how do they say
their I do's? Where's the...
they get off at the top of the chairlift and then walk out to a clearing that actually overlooks Huntington Lake. It's a 180-degree view.
Yeah,
it's absolutely
Huntington Lake
spectacular.
is only like, what, 2 minutes away or something?
Yeah, it's just right down the road.
Yeah, look at these beautiful photos here. This is kind of the setup, right?
These are some of the decorations that some couples have put together with the arbors and the chairs and all their flowers.
So who's going up there? Tell us the clientele.
The clientele are very active couples. They're usually snowboarders or skiers during the winter, or perhaps they're hikers and outdoor people during the summer. Occasionally we get a few couples that will show up that maybe haven't been on a ski lift before, and the experience that they get when they come and do their tour just sets them off to where they know that that's what they want to share with their friends and family too.
So most of these people that are getting married there are skiers.
Skiers, snowboarders, or active hikers, outdoorsmen.
So what are you doing to get the word out to the rest of the general population, the people that don't ski, that maybe are not into snowboarding or doing backflips on the mountain?
That's the trick in general for, I think,
that's your job, right?
That's the trick in general for the skiers or all year round, is trying to get those folks that haven't been able to experience. I mean, we are only an hour and 20 minutes from the Central Valley.
I understand.
Wonderful, cool air, fresh outdoor atmosphere.
But I'm talking about appealing, not getting people to ski, not getting people interested, but the general, like I used to ski, I don't ski anymore, Okay, how do you get a person like me up there that's not going to go up there on a regular basis and ski, but they maybe want to go up there and get married?
Well, a lot of couples nowadays are choosing to do destination-style weddings, and the expense in a destination-type wedding can be pretty extravagant between hotels and airfare and all of those kind of things. So China Peak is an amazing venue, unlike any other here in the Central Valley, where we can create that destination experience only an hour and 20 minutes away.
Is it difficult trying to appeal to the non-skier to come up there and get married?
Not necessarily. Once they get on the chairlift and they actually see the view, and they hear the creek running below them as they walk across the bridge, and you know the birds chirping and the lake below and the sailboats coming across, they're sold. It's an experience, and the wedding itself turns into a whole weekend with your friends and family where they get to enjoy.
Now I got a question for you. How long have you been married?
8 years in October.
Did you get married at China Peak?
No, I got married. I got married in my aunt and uncle's backyard.
Why not China Peak?
Well, they weren't doing it then. It was before that. Yeah.
All right. I'm embarrassing you.
I know
now.
you
See
are
that?
a little bit.
But if you were to do it all over, would you get married up there?
I would really consider at least the chairlift experience. It's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Now you can't exchange. Okay, we got to take a break. I'll ask the question on the other side of the break, and you can call in and find out about these weddings. I said it's never too late to get married if you want to at China Peak. 436 MeTV option 11. Tess Erdman is here, or Tess Danielle, whichever you choose. Make sure and turn down the sound when you call in.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Back here with Tess Erdman. She's from China Peak and trying to sell you on the best place to get married, and that would be China Peak, I guess. Now, let me ask you something. You grew up at Shaver Lake? Mm-hmm. Okay, you went to Fresno State?
Went to Fresno State, yes.
Okay. Now, you've been married 8 years, you said.
That's correct.
Would you consider renewing your vows up at China Peak?
My husband and I have actually been talking about renewing our vows possibly on our 10-year. So.
And you have a 6-year-old.
I have a 6-year-old. Mm-hmm.
And a 3-month-old.
That's right.
Wow. Well, you look like you've lost a little bit of sleep, but you look good otherwise. Is sleeping at night or not?
He is, actually. He's sleeping through the night.
I'm
it's
teasing
amazing.
you.
It's amazing.
Because my kids never slept at night.
He's a great
I don't know. I don't. So how many people are going up there renewing their vows?
It's probably 2 or 3 groups a year that actually do the renewal. We also have a lot of elopement style weddings where there's smaller groups. Really? They create an entire weekend experience with trails and hiking and mountain biking while their guests are actually
there.
We
have more photos. I might as well show them. We're sitting here talking about it. Might as well show it. This is a visual medium, my friends, right? Okay, take the phone number down, by the way. That way we can see them better. 436 MeTV option 11 if you want to call in and ask a question to Tess. And this is obviously the scene at China Peak. And a dry year, not much snow.
That's right, it is a dry year.
So how has that affected business for China Peak during the winter months?
During the winter months, obviously, it was a little bit difficult this year. We're hoping, that's why the summer season itself is being pushed, and we're doing so much, is because we want guests to come up and see us during the summer, enjoy those free live music concerts that we have every Friday night on our patio. Mud run, triathlons, you name it, it's all happening. Our adventure park actually opens this weekend, so guests can start
you've got to push
doing
this
everything.
thing to you got to push this thing to the people that are non-sports fans, non-skiers, because that's where your bigger market's going to be, don't you think?
Yeah, we started a frisbee golf course, which is for anybody.
Yeah.
Any ability level, where they actually ride the chairlift to the top of the mountain, they get the full view, and they get to leisurely walk down, enjoying all the scenery, doing a frisbee golf.
Some of the food there. Hey, caller, you're on the air. What's your question?
It's not there.
Oh, lost the call? Okay. Yeah, some of the food that we're looking at right there, obviously at some wedding event at China Peak. And so what about corporate events? Are you involved in that too?
I am myself and another event coordinator on site. We have a lot of corporate events, especially during our off seasons in the fall and springtime. Our summer season is pretty limited, so we're already completely fully booked for this summer. We're already getting bookings for the following 2015 summer and 2016 summer.
So when you say you're booked, what are you booked with?
With weddings, almost
Really?
every single
You're
weekend
fully booked.
for
Okay,
this
when you say
for this
fully
summer.
booked, how many weddings have you booked for this summer?
For this summer, we have 12 more to go out of only about 13 usable weekends.
So you have 12 weddings that are going to be taking place at China Peak. Okay. All right. For this summer.
For just this, because it's such a short period of time between now and when the
May
snow
consider
starts
doing it
coming
during
down
the winter
again.
time too. Who knows? Good morning. You're on Connect with Me, caller. What's your question?
I just turned down the sound as you were starting to talk about the chairlifts. My question is, when you ascend the lift, you go to the top of the peak, is there a noticeable climactic change from, let's say, the bottom of the lift to the top of the lift? And if so, in the valley heat, of course, it would equate to great relief. Is that, in fact, the way it is?
Well, first off, you get this breathtaking view. It's about 11 to 12 minute ride from the bottom to the top. So you really get to take in the sights
So you have to
as you're
determine
going.
what's going to be more breathtaking. Would it be the view or your bride?
Well, your feet are dangling between 25 to 60 feet in the air at any point in time. So it's very exciting and exhilarating.
You don't like my sense of
You do have a
humor.
lap bar that keeps you nice secure in your seat, so it's very safe. And then, of course, the cool breeze and the lighter air. Obviously, there's less oxygen at the top of the mountain. So.
Right. Just don't make it so breathtaking that you fall out of the chair.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen.
You got to have a sense of humor, right? This is fun. This is fun. Would you ever consider having weddings up there as we roll another piece of videotape with some photos? I want to use all these because they're so breathtaking.
Right?
Right? Look at that.
We have meadows throughout the entire area. There's creeks with small waterfalls. It's a photographer's delight, really.
Yeah. Do you take the photos?
All the ones that you see here, I actually took.
You're pretty good. I need your phone number and business card and everything else. I may need some photos taken.
Well, that's how I was actually approached for the position from Tim, was because I was a wedding photographer, and he said, well, if anybody knows weddings well enough, Tess, come on up and let's do this. So.
Well, do you still have your business then as a wedding photographer? You do?
Van Studio.
Hey, we got another call coming in. You're very popular here. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. What's your question?
Yeah, good morning, John. Tess?
Yes.
So just two questions. Why would I choose China Peak before Yosemite? I have a wedding, and then that's the first question. And so give us your best PR talk on that one. And then how many rooms do you have to accommodate a wedding party there? And is there a swimming pool? I haven't been up there a while.
There was a swimming pool a long time ago, but since then it is now our patio where you will actually be eating dinner. So no swimming pool is located there anymore.
Oh, really? So no swimming pools up there
No
per
swimming
se?
pool right now. No, that's where we have the lake. So it's a real big one.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, Yosemite. Give me your best shot on Yosemite and there, China Peak, and then how many rooms, possibly?
Yeah.
Sure. The thing with Yosemite, albeit it's an absolutely stunning location, when you come up to China Peak, you're not dealing with any of the crowds that you would have in the Yosemite Valley. So there's a lot less tourists that are going to be in the area. And most of our guests, when they use our venue for their wedding, the entire place is private to them. They get the
so
hotel.
It's shut down just for them.
It's an entire weekend experience, just them one-on-one with their guests. There's no fee coming in like you would inside a state park or a national park type of situation. There's 55 rooms in the hotel, some suites, some dormitory style. It's a very unique hotel. It was originally built as an actual dormitory facility for the staff. Back when we first opened, and since then it's been renovated into hotel style.
Okay, so how many rooms?
55 rooms.
55 rooms, so that could accommodate quite a few people, up to 100 people.
More than that.
More than 100
Some of the
people.
rooms that can actually sleep up to 8 people between
Really?
bunk beds. It's a very, very charismatic.
And kids, they can sleep on the floor.
Of course.
They can sleep in the kitchen, right? They can sleep anywhere. They're kids. They're
Yes.
kids. My kids could sleep anywhere.
And from the top of the
and have.
chairlift, you're going to get views. Albeit there's no, half dome there, but you do get a view of the lake. You do have all the same activities, hiking trails. You're right at the entrance to the backcountry through Kaiser Pass. So there are tons of activities still to enjoy, even though you're not necessarily in a national park.
So I said it was about 65 miles east of Fresno. What does it take? About an hour and 15 to get there?
Hour 20 to hour 30 minutes, depending on how comfortable you are on the road. It is, it is a little bit windy road.
Twists and turns to get there, but you got to be patient, right?
And the resort is designed as a one-stop shop type of place. So it's not like that in a lot of the state park areas. So your linens, chairs, tables, food, champagne, me, your coordinator, all included.
Okay, all right. Tess Erdman is here. She's talking about getting married at China Peak. Well, she's already married, but she's talking about you maybe getting married.
That's right.
We're going to talk about how to get in touch with her, and you maybe give a website, 436 MeTV option 11. If you have any questions, call in, turn down the sound.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
We're back here talking about weddings at China Peak, and so if someone sees this program and they say, hey, that's a pretty good idea, let's plan something for August. Booked up, sold out?
There are some Fridays and Sundays that we can still have available.
No Saturdays available.
That's
They're
right.
all gone.
That's right, because we also have our Rumble to the Peak concert, which is a benefit for charity that's happening in August. The Mud Run, triathlons. There's also a lot of other events as well happening.
Like biking, mountain biking.
That's right.
All that. Do we have any other photos that we haven't seen? That's it. We're out of photos. Okay, maybe run the monologue again. I like the monologue segment. So they're all booked up. And how far in advance do you have to plan a wedding? There you go. There's the shot of the year. Did you take that?
Yes.
You took that?
That's right.
Wow.
Most guests usually book between 12 to 18 months in advance.
12 to 18 months in advance?
That's to make sure they get the date that they really want. Now, that doesn't mean that in 6 months in advance they can't usually find a date, but it usually is a good idea to do it about a year in advance.
That's the chair. Is that before or after they got married?
That's right. That's her riding up with her dad. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's the ceremony with the lake in the background right there.
So I find that kind of hard to believe. 18 months in advance. So who plans 18 months in advance? You get engaged, and it's usually, 9 months, maybe 10 months, maybe a year later.
Being in the wedding business itself for quite some time now, especially through my studio experience as well.
Yeah.
Due to the recession in the last few years and couples really having to put a lot more effort into saving up their money, engagements tend to be actually lasting longer nowadays. They have a lot more responsibility in finding those funds, and so they plan farther in advance and make payments along the way. So that's kind of the trend we've seen.
Okay, what about catering and the food? Who takes care of the food?
We take care of all of the food up there. We have an on-site chef who does an amazing job. We have buffet-style dinners as well as full-plated. I mean, you talk about crab stuffed salmon, lamb chop, anything you can imagine. It's an amazing menu.
So anything that the bride wants.
Anything that the bride wants.
She will get in terms of food.
That's right. We are in the business to please.
Okay, and the chef can do that. All right, what about the cake?
The cake, off-site caterers will bring in the cake. So the brides and grooms can choose any of their vendors as far as we don't have restrictions on who they have to use for their photographer or videographer. The only thing that they
don't have to use you?
No.
Okay.
They can bring in anybody that they like for their other vendors.
Okay. Now, what do you charge?
Packages for like an elopement, the packages are all inclusive, so they include all the food, champagne, room for the bride and groom the night before, honeymoon suite for the couple the night of, as well as all the tables, linens, sound equipment, etc. Packages start at $3,500.
Okay.
And then go up from there. Some of the packages even include their rehearsal dinner for the night before. So.
Okay. So starting at 35 and going up as high as
Oh, sky's the limit when it comes to weddings.
Yeah. All right, what about hiring? What about the band? Who hires the band? Is it China Peak or does the bride and groom?
It's up to them. We have sound system that some of the couples choose to use themselves.
That's included in the package?
That's included in the package. But most of the guests usually will choose to hire a DJ or an MC. We recommend that. The DJs are an awesome attribute to every single wedding, and they really make the party happen.
We have a call? Oh, okay. All right. Good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Captivating heirloom quality photographs that you were showing just now from your wedding photographer who's your guest. Hey, there's one picture that I wanted to ask a question about. You had a special effect where the words love had been spelled out in what I don't know, like a flashlight or something.
Yeah.
Can your guest explain how that's done? I'm just kind of curious.
It's a long exposure shot we actually had little solar lights that they used for that. So during the long exposure, the bridal party was making the letter shapes with their solar lights. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how are you getting the word out besides this show?
We use local advertising connections. Premier Bride is a huge outlet for us to all of our brides and grooms. We do bridal shows throughout the year. Obviously, we have our open house this weekend with free wine tasting from Birdstone Winery, local winery.
Where are these people coming from? Just Fresno, or do some people come from out of state to get married?
We actually have some coming from out of state. We had a couple last year that was from Canada that heard about us. They had family here in the California area, and they wanted the mountain experience without having to take everybody up to Canada with them. So we were the location for them. And the cost-wise, it's an amazing. It's amazing what you can get without like the cost that you would get like in Tahoe or Yosemite.
Yeah, you think the cost is the biggest difference between those two places?
The cost and the fact that you get the whole place to yourself. That's really hard to find.
You think $3,500 is a low price?
Mm-hmm. It's very reasonable.
Compared to some venues here in Fresno, maybe?
I'm not an expert on every venue, but it's a very, very reasonable price when you talk about including food, champagne, tables, linens.
That's a reasonable price?
All the setup, all the tear down, rooms for the bride and groom.
So for $3,500, you get the whole kit and caboodle, including the music.
Including the sound system. And we even have some decor that's available to guests to use, like our arbors and draping fabrics. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay. So how do people get in touch with you? What's your website and your...
They can view all the pictures that you saw here today, as well as more images and our menu and our packages at ChinaPeakWeddings.com. And then you can view more information about the resort at SkiChinaPeak.com.
So China Peak, what's that again?
China Peak Weddings.
ChinaPeakWeddings.com, and you can view everything. Is there a phone number up there they can call, or what? Give it out.
You can call the inn at 233-1200.
Okay, and ask for you, or
ask for me. Anybody that answers the phone, they're all very well versed.
So what do you do as the coordinator? What do you coordinate?
We meet with our brides from day one, give them tours, help them decide which areas of the resort is best for them. We have an amazing new ceremony location down by the creek called our Creekside Grove. Market lights strung above. It's the creek running right by it. It's very romantic.
So who makes all the decisions? Most of them from couples that you see. Is it the bride?
It's mostly the bride, but when a groom does decide to get involved, he's very involved. There's not a partially involved groom. They're either all in or they're all out. So it's amazing how that works.
But most grooms kind of just...
Most grooms they tell me when to show up. When do I show up and what do I wear?
When do I show up? Just ask my fiancée. She'll take care of everything.
Exactly.
Is that how it goes usually?
And the moms are very involved usually as well.
Well, that's okay because it probably turns out better that way. The grooms need to stay out.
They need to just enjoy the day. Just show up when they're told to show up and have a big smile on their face.
I got to have you come back again sometime.
Okay.
We'll talk about China Peak and some of the other stuff going on up there, okay? You come back on a business day maybe on a Tuesday.
Fantastic.
All right, Tess Erdman from China Peak. Hey, if you want to get married, well, not this summer. They're all booked up. Well, they have a couple of openings on Fridays.
But come to the open house.
Fridays and Sundays. Okay, the open house is this coming Sunday. That would be June 22nd. Okay, that's going to do it for us here on Connect With Me. We're back again tomorrow on Comcast, channel 187, 43.6. Have a great day, everybody.
Do you like me?
Just like me.
Like MeTV Fresno on Facebook. Get the latest news, interact with others, watch videos, become a fan of me. Exclusively brought to you by Ventura TV.